Hey guys, it is Jen.
And Ben.
And we wanted to do a new series called Ask Jen.
And Ben.
So over the years that we've been together...
16.
It's been many, many years.
Yeah.
Such... 16.
Okay.
Just kidding. We have been happily married for 9 years now and happily dated for 7 years before that. So we just get asked a lot of relationship questions. Not just online, but in real life, in IRL.
That's what in real life stands for.
I know. We're smart. Yeah. We thought we would kick off the very first Ask Jen and Ben with your questions about soulmates. Ooh. You ready for this?
I am.
Okay, high five.
So that's our secret handshake. It's just a regular high five.
We'll make a secret handshake eventually. It's a work in progress. We've worked out the first part for 16 years. We'll get the next part in another 16. You just wait.
Well, we did want to add that part, the Aria part, where one of us goes, bing.
Bing!
But the other goes, ba.
She says, ba. When we bing, she only baws.
She's learning.
She'll eventually be, maybe in
part
16 years.
of the secret handshake.
I only believe you have one soulmate at a time.
True.
If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Because I think it's more than just it being destiny. I think it's a choice you make in your heart. You're deciding for that time in your life to be your soul's mate.
I often think too, in a very cheesy way, about puzzle pieces fitting together. There's so many things that are different about you and me, but we fit together really well.
Yeah, we're really compatible.
And we understand each other really well.
But then that's also a choice that we make. You know, we're choosing to stop and listen and to care and to try to work to fit more together and be more compatible. But I believe in soulmates.
Me too.
Yeah.
Infatuation is pretty funny because when we first started dating, we were so young that we didn't want to say love.
We were only 16 when we started dating.
We were trying to be realistic about high school dating. And so for the longest time, we would say that we really liked each other, we were infatuated with each other. And then it eventually turned into I think I love you.
Took a bit before we said that to each other, you know?
Yeah. I think we were about to graduate. We both knew we were going to college. I had not decided. Jen had already decided where she was going. But I always wanted to be around Jen, and I always wanted Jen in my future. And so that, I think, was a pretty significant point where I knew that it was more than infatuation. It was more than just liking somebody. And it was pretty overwhelming. Like, I liked you a lot.
But love is more than just liking someone a lot. For me, I think it came from a logical perspective because I'm already quite an emotional person and I was very emotionally invested in our relationship. But when I would stop and think about, do our morals line up? Do I want to have children with this person sometime in the future? Do I see myself growing old with them? Do I see this person taking care of me when I'm unable to? Do I see myself with his family forever? You know, thinking and talking about those things and seeing what that could look like. And then really being like, yes, I want this.
One of the ways that you can kind of put your toe in the deep end and test the waters is how many kids do you want? Do you want to get married? Those kind of questions. Those are the beginning of the really deep questions. But then it's like, what are your thoughts on like human rights in this country? What are your thoughts on like the death penalty? What are your thoughts on abortion? Like really, really complicated, gritty stuff.
And it's not necessarily agreeing on all of those things right off the bat, but it's more like not having the fear to go there. Being so safe and comfortable with each other that you'll literally feel safe talking about anything. Anything. when we were dating, like, we thought that was the fullness of love that you could experience until we got married, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is such a greater level than I thought was possible. But then when we had kids, well, just the one, when we had Aria, that was at another level completely. And every time it hit us upside the head, we totally didn't expect it. It was almost like shocking and overwhelming. And I'm sure in the future, more of those things will happen, but I kind of hope it just makes us reach more levels.
Would you say what makes you compatible with a soulmate is something that you want, or something that you need, or a combination of the two?
Oh, is this an at Ben question asking
this
our
is
relationship?
At Benjamin.
At Benjamin's. I think it's that both people have to have their needs and wants pointing toward the same direction. So you're both working toward the same wants and the same needs. You have to both listen and give at the same time in the same place. Even if it's like, these are my wants and needs and you're meeting them, but I'm not hearing your wants and needs and also meeting them, it makes an imbalanced relationship, and you could be having a lot of thoughts and feelings that you're not being open with sharing.
So I was thinking that, like, through the different stages, so like, let's just say it's your traditional idea of like dating, marriage and whatnot, is dating, you would have a happy, fulfilling, fun relationship. And then marriage is kind of like you settle down. And then after marriage, there's more of like a long haul in that you're together for all sorts of different experiences, like children. That is just like one example. Others could be like
buying a house
together, a passing of a family member,
yeah.
Like not just good but also bad, but through that you're going to experience different needs and wants. Like you might need somebody to be more compassionate, or you might need somebody to be more like serving, in terms of like a child is not going to change its own diaper, and if only one person is changing, it's a little bit hard. How you would define a soulmate changes over that period of time is based on your life experiences that you're going through. And so if it's children, marriage, if it's just fun dating, you're going to be having different expectations out of your partner.
I think you have to give more the deeper you get.
Right.
For both parties. I mean, you receive a lot, but I think your focus has to be the giving to get closer together, which is kind of like backwards, but I feel like that's like the healthy way of working toward a good relationship. How do we keep being in love?
How do we, Jen?
Is it because I woke up like this?
Is it because I woke up like this? I will say that after Aria, your love languages changed.
Oh, yeah.
And that was some getting used to. And so I think that that's something that a lot of people should be prepared for, because Aria was a big sacrifice time-wise. One of the things you started to appreciate more was acts of service.
Acts of service. If you guys know about the 5 love languages, maybe that'll be a future topic. Yeah.
So words of affirmation turned into acts of service.
Yeah,
so,
you gotta show me.
Yeah. So before it was
encouragement,
yeah. Pep talks kind of stuff, but then it turned more into if the dishes were done, if I volunteered more to change Aria's diaper, or...
But even just like household chores, like laundry and vacuuming. You know, one of the big things I always tell people when they have that question is like, oh, how do you stay in love after all those years? Is never stop chasing that person. And what we mean isn't that you have to like do up your hair and your nails and your shoes and especially your heels, like you did on the first date. It's more that you have to let the other person know that you still desire them, that you still want to have that feeling of running for them and running toward them. I think it's so easy for people to just get complacent. Oh, we've been married for however many years, I don't have to try anymore. But for me, trying means that I do want to like get extra pretty on a date night, and I do want to do things that let him know that I still love him just as much as I did 10 years ago. And that can be different for every couple, you know, just in the ways that you feel fulfilled. Acknowledging what makes that other person feel wanted and desired, and then constantly not forgetting to do those things. I would say to remember that you have all of the years in the world in the future, once you're with someone, to be closer with that person and more alike and learn things about them and discover things about them. So I think it is important to be open-minded to discovering who that person is and all of the intricacies of them, and not being maybe so quick to judge. I feel like when you first start dating someone, you'll always get to a point where you hit that wall and say, oh, now I'm starting to see the things I don't like. But in a long-term relationship, that doesn't change. You still see all the gross, horrible, mean, negative sides about them. It's just that you make a choice that you also see the good, beautiful, wonderful, kind, joyful things about them, and that means more. It's never going to be like, oh, if you see 3 bad things, we're through, because that wouldn't be any kind of long-term relationship. But on the flip side of that, also know what your hard lines are before you start out, because you don't want to just invest yourself in a relationship that you know is going to burn you later on. So when it comes to things like big questions that you think are right and wrong can be hard lines. It's much easier if you agree about those things to begin with.
You don't need to compromise who you are as a person in order to feel like you belong with somebody.
Know the things that are really, really important to you. Those things might be religion, politics, a lot of stances on like parenting even.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talk about those things before you have a kid, before you get married, or even like finances. There are so many things that are really big, important topics that it is much easier to navigate the details of 2 different people when the big things are already agreed on. But then be really open-minded when it comes to the smaller things. Your fashion sense, or your taste in music, or your taste in food, those things can go and come in waves, and you can change those over time.
Not as important.
No.
Jen.
Me. I don't even remember.
Talented.
Funny.
Thanks for not remembering me.
He was super. He was like the one line, not class clown, but like the quiet clown. Ben.
Me, I'm sorry for apologizing. You?
Me?
I think?
Was it maybe? I think it was me.
I think it was you.
But we both liked it. We liked A
Yes.
names.
Yes.
Ben.
네.
조금.
just like 안녕하세요, 감사합니다, that kind of stuff. 7. 1. I think it'll be a girl.
I think it'll be a boy, but we're fine either way.
We're open either way.
We'll be
no
happy with
gender
whatever.
disappointment.
No.
At all. Baby number 2.
We're talking to you. Korea. Oh, London.
London.
Oh, London was so
London.
good. London. Florida.
Notice it was not the top.
No, but it was so fun because we didn't have money.
We didn't have any money. We went to SeaWorld and swam with a dolphin named Lester.
No,
And
not
he-
at SeaWorld. It was at
Discovery Cove, and we swam with the dolphin that was
Named
42
Lester.
years old.
Star Wars,
Which one, though?
the second one.
Of which?
Of the first 3, the second one.
Oh, yeah! For the longest, for like 9 years, it was Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
But now it's Pitch Perfect.
I like Pitch Perfect, the original. But I don't even know if I would know what my favorite is.
Okay, well then.
I also really like Mean Girls.
You do like Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Jenny.
Benny.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our soulmate chat.
Our little s'mores by the fireside.
If you guys have any questions or soulmate advice, leave that down below.
You can leave future topics you'd also like us to talk about, and follow us on Instagram, where you can also ask us questions that might pop up in future Ask Jen and Ben videos. Just use a hashtag so that we see it. And if you see us on the street, give us a high five.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.